scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a 9x12 process video using the Cocoa Daisy Cherish Blossoms kit. And I have a little problem. The Cocoa Daisy kits no longer come in 12x12 size. They only come in Traveler's Notebook and pocket size. So the problem I have is that I have no 9x12 papers to or 12x12 papers to build my layout with. Now, of course, I can use a solid piece of cardstock and use all this beautiful paper as, you know, mats on the 9x12 cardstock. That is no problem. I did that last month. But the thing is that this page coordinates with another page, a pocket page tomorrow that will be posted tomorrow, that has a lot of color going on and a lot of layers and things like that. And so while I did want a solid piece of white cardstock, I also wanted a lot of different patterns, but muted, if that makes sense. Not a whole lot going on top of the page, more like some stuff going on in the background. So what I decided to do was take some of these 6x8 papers and cut them down into 3x4 and 4x6 cards and create a sort of 9x12 mat for behind a 8x11 piece of white cardstock, so that I could have all of these beautiful patterns in sort of like a quilt thing going on, but without it being too wild and crazy. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting these apart and I am choosing different patterns to go throughout. I only need two 3x4 cards now, so I'm just kind of looking through the 3x4 cards that came with the collection to see if there's anything that, you know, I might not actually use in a pocket page, but I can use in this context. And that middle card doesn't matter because everything is going over it. You won't even see that middle card. I just kind of put it there for support. So now I'm going to cut down the 12x12 piece of white cardstock to 8x11. And I need a new paper trimmer because this one drives me crazy. Measuring to 4 inches on this page, or on this trimmer, makes me nuts because it's like right at the edge of the trimmer itself and it's so hard to see. So I had to cut off 4 inches and a 1 inch to make it 8x11. Put it right over the top. So this is the look I'm going for. So I have all that beautiful color around the outside edge, but the inside is going to be white and a little less crazy. So I'm just going to use a washi tape and I'm going to tape these together, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to use, you know, double-sided tape to stick the white cardstock down over the top of this. So I basically just need support in the background before I tape down the white cardstock. So that's just basically what I'm going for here. It's a little bit of support so that it doesn't move around. Last but not least, I need to add in these top 2 cards. There we go. Make sure everything's aligned and there's no gaps, which is always going to be the hardest with the last card, because you have to account for, you know, crooked cuts and not quite 3x4, you know, that kind of stuff. So I have a little bit of a struggle here. I'm going to tape these together first, and then I'm going to tape it all here. Now I can put my white cardstock over the top to hold it all together as centered as possible. There we go. So now I have these 2 photos, and they're basically the same photo with 2 different faces, but I love them both. And so to add a little color over this white cardstock without adding too much pattern paper, I'm going to use my Catherine Pooler inks, and I'm going to use the pattern making stamp that came in the Cocoa Daisy kits, and I'm going to just create a little corner pattern for each corner, the top right and the bottom left. And I'm doing this over really textured cardstock, so it makes this really kind of cool distressed look, which I'm actually really loving. And I marked the corner of each photo just so I would have a kind of a guide to where I wanted to start stamping. The photos are going to cover up a lot of this stamping, so I'm not too concerned about making sure everything is perfectly aligned. Just wanting to have a little bit of corner decoration. So I'm liking that. I feel like I need to add one more little stamp over here. You can see that this, if I was making an actual pattern here, it wouldn't align properly, but just sticking that photo over there so it's perfect. And that aquatini color matches this collection perfectly, so I was stoked for that. I'm going to put this down, aligning with that mark that I made. I want them to be horizontally and vertically aligned right in the center. I don't often build things right in the center, but I liked the way it looked for this. Perfect. So now I've got my base, and all I have to do is add in some embellishments to make it, you know, look finished off. I don't need to add in any journaling because on the right-hand side of this spread is a pocket page that will be posted tomorrow that has all of my journaling that goes with it. So I'm just kind of seeing what I want to add here. I need to add in a title, which is kind of confounding me at the moment. I like using that word, confounding. I don't know exactly what I want to call it or where I'm going to put the title. So I'm just sort of adding in embellishments first. I'm going to use this Weekend Love. And that's all that matters. I liked both of those phrases in this context. I like these little pearls, they're fun, so I'm going to add in a couple to these stamp clusters just for a little bit of a different color. They're a little hard to handle, so I thought maybe I would use some tweezers, but that just made it even harder, so forget that. Dropped it on the floor. Yeah, no, this is not working. Fingertips it is. They're a little too round for the tweezers. So I added 2 to sort of the corner of each of those clusters. I thought about using these thickers, but they didn't have any phrases that really made sense with this photo. Pulling out this Pink Fresh Studio that came in the classified memory keeping kit. I loved that So Happy We're Here, but it was too big for the orientation of this layout. I'm going to use a couple of strips here. There's a patterned one that has black on it, black and gold, that I thought would tie in the darkness of the photos pretty well. And then there's a little word strip I want to use too. So I'm going to use the black and gold one down here. And then I'm going to put this one up here. It says Sweet Escape. So I'm thinking about using this patterned washi, but I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to use it yet. This page is looking really like cute and put together, but not done. And I'm not quite sure what to add to it yet. I'm going to add this hexagon because these are Rest Stop of America tour photos, so I want to add where they're going, or where we were, I mean. So I'm going to add one down here, but I'm going to move it over a little bit because it's it's hanging out weird. That's better. So I'm adding where we were, Kingsport, Tennessee. A lot of the Tennessee rest stops have this Made in Tennessee sign. I'm going to add a pink cloud up here. I think I want to add some of the wood veneer that came in the collection. I'm sort of looking through all the die cuts here, but I'm going to add wood veneer instead. I want another one of these clouds at the bottom, but I don't want the dark blue because of the dark black. The dark black pattern strip down there. So this takes me a minute. There's a million clouds in this collection, but I couldn't find any in this mess. I think I end up using one of the ones I already pulled out. Like I didn't want to use the white because it would be white on white. I pull out 2 of those wood veneer paper cranes. That's perfect. I admit when I was first looking at these paper cranes, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but they make perfect sense in sort of a escape, get away, fly away, travel-y sort of layout. So they were perfect for this. So I put one in each spot. Still thinking about a cloud down there at the bottom, but I need to add in my title. So I have this seafoam green sort of alphabet, and I'm going to add it along the side of the photos there. And I had that Halsey G-Eazy song stuck in my head called Him and I, so that's what I decided to make my title. I like the lyrics to that song for not describing our relationship, but I relate to it a little bit, especially since he talks about being a crazy Gemini in the song, and my husband is also a crazy Gemini, so it works. So I put just him and I, because it was a trip for just him and I, and I'm going to take this patterned washi tape, and I'm going to add 2 strips. I'm going to add red to the end of this photo, and then I'm going to add yellow as well, just to pull in a little bit more color from the outside edges. And I decide that these 2 pattern strips all the way to the edge they're like too long. So I want to sort of stagger them a little bit. I try to add matching over here, but I didn't like the way that it looked. So I'm going to take those back off. Yeah, I'm like, no. Put those back. And then I'm going to notch the 2 in the top corner into banners, like little long banners, and make them a little bit staggered, a little bit shorter. Which takes a little bit of effort once they're already stuck down. I can't believe how much I fuss with these 2 little pieces of washi tape. It's crazy. I keep looking at this thinking I want to add more, but I don't think that I actually do. So I'm going to just cut this down, notch it into banners, which is not easy from this angle. Not easy at all. So I end up taking it off to do it instead. Sometimes you just have to give in. Stop being lazy. And then I have to do the red one as well, and then I'm going to call this layout done. Stay tuned tomorrow for the companion pocket layout. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed, and I would love to be besties over there as well. All right. Thank you.